Why has the EU imposed sanctions on Russia? The decision followed Moscow's actions in Ukraine. These include the violation of Ukrainian sovereignty and the illegal annexation of Crimea and Sevastopol by Russia. Inflows of fighters and weapons from Russia into eastern Ukraine. A foreign policy tool, the measures do not target the Russian population. They aim to bring about a change in Russian policy towards Ukraine. The EU remains ready to reverse its decisions and re-engage with Russia when it starts contributing actively and without ambiguity to finding a solution to the Ukrainian crisis. The European Union regularly reassesses the sanctions and communicates openly about them.
I always said, and I can repeat it today, sanctions in themselves are not an objective, are a tool, and I think that everybody wishes that this situation can be overcome as soon as possible, but this needs to be linked to an improvement of the situation on the ground in the east of Ukraine.
All 28 EU leaders have unanimously linked the duration of the sanctions to the complete implementation of the Minsk agreements. Economic sanctions will remain enforced until the end of 2015, when the last point of the peace plan is to be implemented, Ukraine regaining control over its borders in the east. 149 persons involved in undermining Ukraine's territorial integrity are subject to asset freezes and visa bans. 37 entities have had their assets frozen in the EU. Additionally, economic sanctions include limiting access to EU capital markets for Russian state-owned financial institutions and restricting access to certain sensitive technologies, particularly in the oil and military sectors. The EU has not limited the export of foodstuffs to Russia. That decision was taken by the Russian authorities.